taken from you, and the world that stole it was already dying. Welcome back to Film Ops, where we break down powerful movies through pure storytelling. Today, we're diving into one of the most brutal origin stories ever told, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. This isn't just a prequel, it's a story about loss, survival, and how a child becomes a legend in the wasteland.
Protect the green place.
The story begins in a miracle, the green place of many mothers. In a world reduced to dust and madness, this land still breathes. Water flows, life grows, and young Furiosa knows peace. But peace never lasts in the wasteland. One day, raiders arrive. They steal Furiosa from her home and drag her into the desert, led by a warlord named Dementis, a man driven by chaos, cruelty, and hunger for power. Her mother refuses to let her go. She chases them across the wasteland, fighting with everything she has. But the desert is unforgiving. Furiosa watches in horror as her mother is captured and killed. In that moment, her childhood dies with her.
Of abundance. What's your name?
Furiosa is forced to grow up among monsters. Dementis keeps her as a prize, proof of his dominance. She is beaten, dragged through war camps, and raised in violence. But Furiosa does not break. She watches, she listens, she learns. As years pass, war erupts between Dementis and another powerful tyrant, Immortan Joe, ruler of the Citadel. Caught between two evils, Furiosa is traded like property, but every brutal experience sharpens her. Fear turns into discipline. Pain turns into patience. In the wasteland, survival is intelligence. Inside Immortan Joe's citadel, Furiosa begins to change. She works the engines, learns how power truly works, not through loyalty, but usefulness. She hides her anger behind control. This is where Furiosa becomes dangerous. She earns trust, rises in rank, and becomes a capable warrior, not because she's favored, but because she's necessary. And deep inside her burns one goal: revenge. Revenge against Dementis, the man who destroyed her life. When Furiosa finally confronts Dementis, it's not an explosion of rage. It's calm, cold, calculated. Their final clash is brutal and personal. No speeches, no mercy. The wasteland doesn't care about justice, only consequences, and Furiosa delivers them. She doesn't just defeat Dementis, she proves she has become stronger than the world that tried to break her. By the end of the film, Furiosa is no longer a victim. She is a survivor, a warrior, a symbol. This story shows us why Furiosa fights in Mad Max Fury Road, why she defies Immortan Joe, and why hope, even in the wasteland, refuses to die. This is not just the story of how Furiosa survived, it's the story of how the wasteland created its most dangerous rebel. What makes Furiosa different is not just strength, it's restraint. In a world where everyone explodes with violence, she survives by thinking ahead. Every engine she fixes, every convoy she studies, every order she obeys is part of a long game. The wasteland teaches her that freedom is never given, it is taken. Immortan Joe's citadel is not just a fortress, it is a system. Water is control, fuel is control, fear is control. And Furiosa understands this faster than anyone. She watches how power flows, how tyrants rise, and how they fall. This is where her legend quietly begins, not on the battlefield, but in preparation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Film Ops for more intense movie stories, breakdowns, and cinematic narrations. Because here at Film Ops, we don't just watch movies, we feel them.